welcome to My Voices Have Tourette's, and that's why I'm in a Tourette sandwich. My name is Dan Zarin. Let's get started here. So today's episode is brought to you by Gamesla Studio, where we are recording, The Secret Cellar, Iceland's first and only comedy club, and Smári's Volcano Sauces, the greatest hot sauces I've ever had in my life. Today I'm joined by two amazing people. I'm actually, I feel like I'm slightly setting a Guinness record here for the most number of Tourettic people in one episode. We'll find out. We're not really sure. But we do have three of us today. First, joining us is is my co-host, one of my best friends, Elva Doug.
Hey, woo!
She's a chicken.
No.
How are you, Elva?
I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I am. My car isn't though.
Your car isn't good.
No, it's too cold for it now, so it won't start. Yeah, that's
okay.
a good thing to have in Iceland during winter. Car that doesn't like frost. That makes sense.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, of course. But hey, at least you didn't have the problem that I like years ago when I had a car and during winter I was scraping off the ice on my windshield.
Yeah.
And my foot caught a patch of ice and I slipped and face planted onto the hood of my car. And of course, in these situations, what's the first thing you do? You look around, make sure no one's filming it.
And nowadays, there's always someone filming it these days.
Always.
Like, damn it.
Everyone needs YouTube material.
It'll
Let's
be on
just face
YouTube
it.
before you know it.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so that is the co-host, Elva, the amazing Elva. But joining us is another awesome person. She actually contacted us through email after listening to our show, and she was very excited to be a part of this. Really, she just wanted to know about how to do podcasting. But I said, you know what? Screw that. Let's just get her on the podcast and talk to her in person. So let's welcome Charlotte Curry.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Very good. Very excited.
So you're in England at the moment.
Yes, I am.
How are things over in England?
It's snowing, actually.
It
snowed overnight.
It snowed.
It was raining last night. I got up. It's white. It is fabulous.
Out of curiosity, in England, has it been snowing though, or did it just start?
It just started like overnight. It hasn't
Really?
snowed. I don't even know the last time it snowed here. It's been a long while since I saw snow.
Yeah, we had like everyone was talking about wanting to get a white Christmas here, and then it snowed before Christmas a little bit, but then during Christmas it was basically nothing, and then like the past couple nights it just became snow central.
Hey.
Yeah, it just melted away, kind of.
Yeah, the weather in Iceland has Tourette's. You're never really sure what's gonna happen.
Nope.
But I feel like that's British
Never know
weather
what's
as well.
going to happen. Yeah. So where in England are you?
Right smack bang in the middle in the Midlands. Although I'm not right now, but I'm going to university, so usually I'm in Wales.
Wales.
Okay.
The only
rainy country.
the only thing I know about Wales is that the words are really hard to pronounce.
Oh yeah. It looks like they went, what should we call this place? Smashes keyboard. Yeah, we'll have that.
my favorite joke about...
Can anyone say it? No.
My favorite joke about Welsh was the comedian Steve Hughes, who said it looks like some guy tripped carrying a box of Scrabble.
Yeah, that's good.
Like he tripped over and he was just like, all right, that's the language. We'll go with that.
Yeah. It's kind of like Finnish.
It's kind of like Finnish without sounding like they're constantly putting a hex on you.
Yeah, they use a lot of
Chickens.
Wow, I can't remember the word now. Like vowels. They use a lot of vowels in the words, and that doesn't make any sense.
So I've got to make a comment here real quick because so Charlotte, you have what's known as Coprolalia, and your Coprolalia is so perfectly timed with this conversation. It is awesome. like they have a lot of chickens.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's made I play a lot of Fortnite with my friends, and Like, I think people just think it's quite random, but actually there's been so many perfectly timed moments whilst playing that game that's just made it so funny. And my friend he doesn't trigger them on purpose, but he'll say something and then I'll just say, like, it'll reply sort of. It's really weird. So many perfectly timed moments. It's so funny.
How long have you...
timing is everything.
Yes, timing is... How long have you had the Coprolalia?
I think probably since near the beginning. I mean, I think I was diagnosed when I was like 12-ish.
Okay.
And before I started swearing, it was mostly a lot of like just noises and twitching. And then it was actually my first vocal tick, I think, that was a word, and it was the C word, which is like, wow, we're starting top level, are we? Okay, let's go.
I mean, I always just imagine, because I've had like inverse Coprolalia. And I've started getting more, like, over the past couple years, I've gotten more of like Palalia and Echolalia, where like it's more like I repeat words or syllables. But with Coprolalia, the only, like, I remember when I was a kid, I was just a little bit excited just because I wanted it while like a roll call was being done. Just so it could be like going through everyone's names, and then they get to me, and I'm just like, cunt. And I like how that's a joke that we get away with because we have Tourette syndrome. But when someone else does it, I mean, fucking A, it's old.
So I'm not trying to show you my boobs. I'm just trying to
Wow.
with my. Oh, you might have to edit that out. I'm sorry. Wait for it. And now I have no idea what I'm doing.
See, this is the joy of COVID recordings. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
COVID recording is like what? It's like Icelandic weather. It might be great for 5 minutes, and then out of nowhere something happens, and we have no idea what to do.
Yeah, and it's also like it's just normal people trying to use technology. And that's not always successful.
I feel like the more advanced technology's getting, with your smart TVs, they're just getting more complicated and harder to use.
Yes, yes. And I'm over 40, so I'm not supposed to learn new things at this time of my life. I'm supposed to just be teaching younger people all the things in life, but it's different now. Yeah, my son is teaching me a lot of things that I'm. Yeah.
So back to the.
I have to. Yep. Yes.
That's all right. No, but I did want to. I did want to ask something interesting about Coprolalia because, one thing that we've talked about in this podcast before, and I'm curious how it works with Coprolalia is suppression, tick suppression, because this is something that, I mean, everyone who has Tourette's knows about it. I feel like all of us have tried it at least once in our life, or 200 times as I did when I was a kid. But how exactly does it work with Coprolalia? Because like for Palalia and Echolalia, I find it to be so straining actually on my vocal cords. Like even if I'm not actually saying anything, I feel a huge strain.
Yeah, well, I think a method that I've kind of found is, I mean, it's probably not the best way of going around it, but I've just decided to swear a lot in normal conversation. So kind of
just hide it.
Yeah. So, and also just by casually swearing in conversation, it kind of like, you're not ticking it, but like, I think it kind of makes it less because you're already saying it, if that makes sense. So your brain doesn't go, your brain's like, oh, I'm already saying it in conversation, so I can't be bothered to tick it. It's fine.
It's like tactical Tourette's.
Yeah, but otherwise it is quite difficult because, like, I mean, it's the weirdest thing because it wants to do the most inappropriate thing at the most inappropriate time. So, like, I'm fine pointing at something and going, river! But, like, saying fuck in the middle of nowhere, you know, people are like, what? So I guess, they're kind of worse, I guess, because it's not socially acceptable, half of the things that I say, you know.
Well, that's a good point though, because if you're constantly just putting in other swear words in your regular conversation, then people are more likely to go, oh, that's just Charlotte. But if it's out of nowhere, that's what takes them by surprise. Yeah. I actually did that same thing with my
Do you like pickles?
I would love some pickles, but I don't feel like you're actually asking me. No, I do it with my puberty, as I call it, like when I started squeaking more and more, I tried to hide it within other things so that it didn't seem as random. So when I would laugh, I would laugh a little bit more high pitched, so I could kind of squeak into the laugh.
Yeah, I've done stuff like that. I think, I mean, I found that, like, twitches and stuff are, for me, quite easy-ish to kind of cover up. Like, I like to think I'm quite a gestury? What's the word? You know, I gesture a lot. I move around a lot. So I guess, like, if there's the odd twitch in there, I feel like it's not that noticeable. Unless you're sitting down and it's supposed to be still. That's a whole nother thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's that jumping bean sitting over there? It's not me. I don't know who you're talking about.
I had an ADHD diagnosis like 10 years ago or something, and in the questionnaires that you have to answer, one of the questions is, do you fidget a lot? And I'm like, I have Tourettes, so yes. I'm not sure that it has anything to do with the ADHD, but yeah.
They should just change the name of fidget spinners to Tourettic prayers have been answered or something like that.
Yes.
Do you twitch a lot? I do. Here's a twitch spinner.
Twitch spinner.
Twitch spinner.
Microphone.
It needs a whole new marketing campaign. I mean, you could sell those to everyone with Tourette syndrome with just the right amount of marketing.
For twitchy people. For twitchy people.
and I'm curious also because I just lost my thought. This is the problem with getting two people in the same room with Tourette syndrome, let alone three people in the room. Now I'm focusing on like 200 different things. But no, I am curious. I was curious with Coprolalia because with other forms of Tourette's, Elva and I have talked about the fact that sometimes it kind of feels like there's like. It's like half of the time it's involuntary and half of the time it's OCD. It's like an extreme version of OCD. So with some of our tics, we feel like it's not so much of the idea of, oh, we can suppress this one, so we're good. It's more along the lines of like some of them we just do, and others, it's like we feel like we have to, or we feel incredibly uncomfortable. And all three of us do have OCD. So that, I mean, I'm wondering Charlotte, how you've experienced that, either with Coprolalia or just in general.
Well, funnily enough, have you heard of something called TOCD?
TOCD?
Yeah, I think, how do you say it? Tourettic, it's just Tourettic OCD.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I don't know a lot about it.
I think, I could be slightly wrong, but I think so. The OCD is obviously like, how do you explain that? The compulsions and feeling in danger, or like something really bad's going to happen if you don't do the thing, repeating it until you feel better and stuff. And then we all obviously know what tics are. And then I think TOCD is, I think it's specifically the compulsion and the urge and not the... I think there's some intrusive thought in it, but there is a difference. I think it's more to do with the urge and the compulsion. and that it's really uncomfortable if you don't do it. Not that necessarily you feel something bad's going to happen if you don't do it, but if you don't do it, you're just going to be like sitting there really needing to do it. So like for me, I think one of them is when I'm cooking and I've got the hob on, I really need to touch it. Like nothing bad's going to happen if I don't touch it, but I'm like, Christ, my hand is like on fire. I just need to touch it. I need to touch it, and I can't like.
And you're like, I know I will burn my finger, but you know that's. But like here, I see TOCD is for people with transgender OCD who are afraid of being transgender.
Oh, okay. So, that's not what I've seen.
That's a little different than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. A little. I'm wondering.
I like this is the point in the podcast where we all go on Google.
Yeah. I saved a post about it somewhere. I'm sure I'm not making this up. This is gonna be awful if I'm making this up.
I've been having issues with reading things lately. I've been reading things like completely wrong lately. I search for Tourette OCD and I see Tourette OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, it says it came from American Psychiatric Association. And I read American Psycho Association. And I was like, did
they have a club?
Oh God! The amount of things I misread, honestly.
I was like, did Christian Bale write this?
Group I can join. The Psycho Association. That's great.
But it is true though. It does feel different from regular OCD. Like I was having. Because I've noticed lately, I've been busting out the N64 again lately, and we've been playing Mario Party, and every once in a while I have that like OCD to press the start button, and it's super annoying to everyone else, and I have to always go, I'm sorry, didn't mean to. But the weird thing about it is it doesn't feel like typical OCD things where like, you know, something will be, you know, moved slightly and I have to move it back or I feel like my day is going to be ruined. This is just like, it's like a tick. I just feel like my thumb has to do that movement.
Yeah. See, I do that with my, the power button on my laptop. Like I had to get a deadline extension for an assignment the other month because I kept like pressing the off button and stuff. And spamming all the keys and everything. And I was like, oh my God, I can't just keep turning the laptop on and off again and everything. So I'm like, right, I'm just going to like say, I'm having trouble typing at the moment. Can I please have an extension? And I did, luckily. But yeah, I really need to press the power button. But,
I remember years ago I had like, I still do it every once in a while, but every once in a while, like when I'm typing, I'll like hold the shift key and then just press one letter for like a long period of time, and I accidentally sent it once, and my friend got back to me and he's just like, did you just turn into a snake? Why'd you type S over and over again?
Oh, my friends got used to my like tick typing. Like I'll just spam and everything, and I send it as well, and he's like, are you okay? What happened? I was like, I'm just tick typing, leave me alone.
It'd be crazy if autocorrect got good enough at some point to do like Tourette autocorrecting. So like we tick on the keyboard and it goes, did you mean to say? And it's like, yes, autocorrect. I meant to say that, but give me a minute. I'll do it myself. I don't need your help. Now I wanted to kind of change this topic though a little bit because there was something that you mentioned in the email, and that is that you're actually thinking of doing a podcast yourself. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to start this off just kind of by talking about like what is it that you guys think is like, why do you think it's so important that we get our story out? Why do you think it's important that we be open about this stuff? I mean, I know it sounds like an obvious thing, but I feel there is a lot to this. What is it to you? Like, what does being open mean to you guys?
Well, personally, I think like, with like Tourette's and OCD, I think it's quite misunderstood, and there's so many like stereotypes. Like, I mean, for me, unfortunately, I am a walking stereotype. Yeah, but there's still people that kind of think it's just that swearing disorder, or oh, you just need things to be clean all the time. It's
Right.
like, no, or where they're like, oh, if I had Tourette's, or oh, I really want Tourette's, because I was like, if you knew all of the other bits and pieces, trust me, you wouldn't want it, and I'd give it away on a plate, you know, to anybody that wanted it. But so I think it's really good to talk about it, because like people don't know all the little details and the little things, like, you know, people need to know. And I think you touched on it in another podcast where like, how do you say it? Like things like epilepsy and cancer and maybe COVID, the flu, they're all like really big things and they're really important, but like I think this is as important, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that gets diminished.
Yeah, and I also think that if we don't talk about it and we don't educate people about it, our families and everyone around us and stuff, it's really hard for people to sorry, video would be better. No, it's
giving me motion sickness just looking at that.
Yeah, I know, but that's better than the other sickness people get when they look at me. So it's hard for people to like help you and like I've lost the word. Be considerate of you if you don't talk about how you're feeling and why you're doing the stuff you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
And I also always associate the not talking about difficult things. I associate it with shame.
Yeah.
And I, for one, I've had a lot of shame, not just because of my Tourette's, but about my OCD, my ADHD, and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I just kind of said, no, this has gone on long enough. I'm not gonna do that anymore. You know, I'm gonna be in the world the way I am, and people just have to deal with it. So I need to talk about it,
right,
so people can deal with it, you know. So yeah, and it makes you just freer to just be yourself when you're just like, yeah, sorry, yeah. I'm not going to say sorry. This is just something I have. It's not that something I chose.
Absolutely.
So I don't have to apologize. You know.
Well, Charlotte, you made an interesting point, or like you kind of started to bring up an interesting idea, because like Elva and I have joked about the fact that like if we didn't have Tourette syndrome, we wouldn't have any stand-up material, so that would suck. But there is an interesting thought of because like, I mean, how would you feel if one day you just woke up and it was gone? Because like I've talked to other people with Tourette syndrome just on forums and Facebook pages and stuff like that about this, and it's interesting. Like a lot of us, like it seems like a lot of us have had moments in our life, like after we've had Tourette's for a long time, where like we get like, it's like, even if it's just 1 minute at a time, where nothing happens, like no tics or anything. And it terrifies me when that happens. I get flat out terrified because it's a feeling I don't remember. And so
Interesting.
So I'm wondering, how do you guys feel about that thought of actually not having it anymore after all this time?
See,
Mm-hmm.
like if we did have it and then lost it, or if we never had it.
Like at this point in our lives, Elva
it will just disappear.
Yeah, like Elva being in her 80s right now, and I'm joking. Yeah, if it would just
so mine is over just in like 3 years or something, because I'm so old.
Well, a little more is over in 3 years, but
yeah.
No, but how would you guys feel if just out of nowhere it just disappeared?
See, I think I have mixed feelings. Like, if I woke up tomorrow morning and it was completely gone, I'd probably be, like you said, a little bit kind of, I don't know, maybe like nervous and a bit scared. Like, what the hell? This is weird. What? Because I don't remember feeling. I don't think I remember the feeling of not feeling normal, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, what is this? But then I'd be pretty damn happy. But also, I think in the back of my head, I'd just be waiting for it to come back.
Yeah.
As well. I'd be really happy about it. But then I guess I've had a lot of joy out of it when like playing Fortnite and stuff. And I've got to connect really deeply to friends because I've told them about it and everything. And I think I would overall be very happy about it, but also kind of I'd not miss it. I would not miss it. But
no. Well, it's interesting because when you said that you'd always be kind of expecting it to come back, that's like it's a level of anxiety that I imagine would come with it just being gone. Is that anxiety of it's coming back? I know it's coming back. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
I think also if I woke up tomorrow morning and it was gone, and then I had 3 months of absolutely fine, and then it came back, that would shatter my world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there was someone that I've been following, and he had pretty bad Tourette's. And I think
why are you following people? That's just not.
It's all consensual, Elva.
Making fun of him. I'm following you.
They're just going about your day, and you're just like, I'm behind you.
I'm behind you.
Yes.
I'm watching you.
First, when I started on Facebook, it was like 50 people are following you, and I was like, "What? Why? Where are they? Like, can you stop following me? That's weird." Yeah, but sorry.
He made a video on YouTube, and I think it was medication or something, or just growing up, but it went pretty much completely. And then one day it came back and it hit him like a cannonball.
Right.
Because he'd been free of it for ages. And then it just smacked him in the face because it just suddenly started up again. And I think if that happened, I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's almost a level of devastation that you can't be prepared for, because it is that thought of yes, I'm free. I never have to. Oh, it's back. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would really like to be rid of all the tics that hurt my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm in pain every day, and now I have fibromyalgia also because of all the strain on my body for all these years. And so
do you like chickens?
Yeah, exactly. And
just the look on your face is just, I'm not sure.
that poster there is not helping. That's a chicken. Yeah, it is a chicken. I just keep looking at that.
I like it. I like the chicken. No, but like, because my tics have been so severe for such a long time that, like Dan knows, things in my body are just like ruined. Some of them, you know. And
a doctor thought you were an athlete because of your knee.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
How long did you play professional soccer or football? Like, no.
Well, to be fair, you have been training for the Tourette Olympics, so.
Yes, I have. Yes, yeah.
Oh, if that was a thing.
No, but
it'd be epic. It'd be epic.
That would be the funniest sport event ever. Just people with Tourette's doing sports.
To be fair,
that would be pretty awesome. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We should have a Tourette sports meeting.
Should we have,
you know?
Should we actually start like a big charity event for Tourette Syndrome called the Tourette Olympics, and just have like a big ass event where we just all play sports. We all play sports and we compete in them.
we can ask other people with Tourette's all around the world just to send us video of them playing sports, like sports that are difficult for you to do because of your Tourette's. It's it's different for everyone, so that could be really funny.
Wow,
like the ALS challenge, but this will be the Tourette challenge.
Yes, that would be great.
You can do events like egg and spoon, and how long you can keep the egg on the spoon for before you.
Yes, exactly.
It,
And of course, with me, I can't cheat and use my right hand. I'd have to use my shaky left hand.
Of course. My dog is often very unsure of things. Like now, I have to put some antibiotic drops in his eyes every day. And I take him and I kind of open his eyes.
And you blow into his eyes?
And I'm going to put I'm going to put it into his eye, but I have to do a tick before. So he's just waiting there, holding his eye open, like, what is happening? So, it's very difficult for him.
Animals do have weird reactions to Tourette's, though. They do. Like I've been around. I've been around cats that I'll squeak and they'll look at me like, "What? Why?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?"
I've shocked my cats a couple of times.
Wait, you shocked?
My dog
wait, hold on. Did you shock or shot?
Shocked. Shocked.
Oh, I got nervous there. I thought you said you shot your cat a few times.
I just shot it. Yeah. No, but my dog actually seems to imitate my vocal tics. So it's like he looks at me and and I'm like, what are you? What's up? It's yeah.
Huh.
So your dog is developing echolalia.
Yes.
That is a weird thing to say that something could develop.
If animals can be gay, they can also have Tourette's. That's my opinion.
Well, that's actually, there actually is a theory that animals can have Tourette's. Like I was reading, there are actually supposedly dogs and cats that are Tourettic.
So they're not barking, it's just vocal tics. So stop barking, I can't have Tourette's.
Oh, that would be so awful if you had a cat and the cat was just constantly meowing and you're just like, what do you want? And the cat's just like, I can't stop. Meow, meow.
Yeah. It's my Tourette's. I'm so sorry.
And then I'm meowing and then we can't stop.
Yeah, and then it barks or meows like obscenity that we don't understand, and all the other dogs and cats are like, what's up with this guy? Why is he so rude? Aw. This actually happened when I had my son. When he was starting to make sounds, when he was just a tiny little baby. Mm-hmm. Because what they do is they imitate. Like you can have a baby lying down. And no, I'm not. I'm trying to talk. So
I like that we can have fun with this.
No, but you can look into the face and say agoo, agoo, and they will imitate after I don't know, they're 6 or 7 weeks or something. Mm-hmm. What he would do then, when he was a little bit far gone than just doing agoo, he would actually mimic the sounds I make.
Okay.
And he was like a tiny little baby, and I was like, oh, my baby has Tourette's. Then he would stop. And the thing is, he just thought this was a part of the language, because you learn your language from your mother usually, because she's the one who talks to you most.
Right.
So he just thought it was a normal part of the language. But then when he was meeting more people and kind of understood that no one else was doing it, he just stopped it, So
yeah.
Well, so that's interesting. I feel.
He
does have Tourette's today, but
and that's your fault.
You sure?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Well, that is an interesting. I've been thinking about this actually a lot lately because there is a fear that a lot of people with not just with Tourette's have, but with anything really. Like a lot of us have this fear of passing on what we have to children if we have children. And
Yeah.
well, like it's a very real fear because
you will pass it on.
Yeah, because I know that's like I remember like
never have children.
I mean, for let's say ever, because I my family always asks, they're like, when are you gonna have a kid? When are you gonna have a kid? And I have always had this fear of like, I mean, I know how detrimental this has been to my life growing up, but now I'm going to pass it on to someone else. Mm-hmm. It's terrifying.
I'm sorry. I have to run out.
Okay.
For a bit because someone is going to come here to try to start my car for me.
Okay.
So I will be back in a short while. Okay.
This is so professional.
Cool. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
Bye.
But
okay, bye.
But yeah, but that is a fear that like gets talked about, and it kind of leads me to kind of a question about this, because I've kind of thought about that old like thing of like, if you like the button question, where it's like, if you push this button, someone somewhere in the world will die, but you'll get $1 million. Mm-hmm. So the question is, if there was a button that you push it, and someone who has no disorders, no nothing, just completely like flat on the line. I don't know how to say it without saying normal, and I don't want to say normal because I want to imagine that I'm not normal. But like,
don't worry about it.
I know, right? But the question is, right? But if you push the button, someone will randomly get Tourette's, but you'll get $1 million. Would you do it?
I don't think so, no. The thing I think with Tourette's is, like, I could have a kid or do that, and they could get it way worse than me. Mm-hmm. Or they might get it a little bit. But on the off chance that they might get it incredibly more worse than me, I just don't think I could do that, because it's... Oh
yeah, because I thought about this because I was watching. I've been binge watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the past like 2 years straight, and
so have my sisters. They won't stop watching it.
I just can't stop. Like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. It's like 11 at night. I'm going to bed early for me, and I'm just gonna watch one episode, and then like 10 episodes later, I'm still watching it. But
sounds like me every night.
Right, but there's a part of the show where Jake Peralta goes to prison, and when he gets back, he has a hard time sending someone to prison because of the fact that he experienced it. So he's kind of having that thought of like, now that I know how bad it is, how can I put that on someone else? And it is,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of true in this situation as well, since we know how rough this can be. The idea of just even imagining someone else just randomly getting it out of nowhere is terrifying.
Yeah, that's the thing with it as well. Like, I mean, my mom said that I showed symptoms before diagnosis, like blinking and stuff like that. But some people, like my friend, I think it was last year. I could be wrong. I think it was last year. It just suddenly started. She had nothing before. It just... Bam, explosion. Like, yeah, I've completely forgotten what was before. Trying to thought on.
I thought, yeah, it's weird. It does happen for people. I mean, I remember my Tourette's has kind of been like a steady growth. I mean, it's been kind of like when I was like, I don't remember a time at this point that I didn't have Tourette's, like that I didn't have something. But I remember when I was a kid, it started with like, eye rolling. So people just thought I wasn't interested in what they were saying. And I was like, I'm not. So you're right. But I mean, let's get real, half the time, no. But the thing, but then
Baggins is gay.
Wait, what was that?
Bilbo Baggins is gay.
Bilbo Baggins is gay this whole time?
Apparently.
Wow, that makes perfect sense.
Big plot twist.
Plot twist. Spoiler alert. But after a while, it kind of grew to some vocal tics. I don't remember ever having echolalia or palalia until I was about a few years ago, actually. That's something that's been very new. So I think it's interesting how, like when you hear that someone just kind of gets it all out of nowhere, later on, that's not something that I can't even comment on that based on experience.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. Like, if I push the button and they suddenly got it, like, that's what's so horrible about it, that some people, they do kind of get stuff gradually, and then some people just get it, and that must be terrifying, because I think mine was sort of gradual-ish.
Okay.
Kind of. So I kind of, twitching away, like, what's going on? Can't I stop twitching? What the hell?
Right.
And then for some people, they'll just wake up and it'll just be bam.
Yeah. Well, and now there's something that we've been doing throughout this whole episode, and I wanted to talk about this because this was actually something you were asking about in the email, and that was like, how do you go about taking a topic like Tourette syndrome and I don't know that this isn't exactly how you worded it, but it's kind of like, how do you respectfully make it comedic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how do you do it in a way that where you're being more like, you're keeping the awareness, but you're having fun. And I think that's something that has been kind of a thought in my head since I've been open about it is because I've been trying to have this optimistic view of as long as I can keep a smile on my face when I do something, then I should be fine. And I think the big thing with this, and I wish Elva's car wasn't a piece of crap so she could answer this too, because she's like the best example of this. Because that's the thing. Elva and we make fun of each other constantly. I mean, she'll do one thing, and either she will make a joke out of it, or I will make a joke out of it. I squeak, and she starts giggling, and I'm like, all right, get it out, get it out. And I think it's just that feeling of camaraderie. I think that's what it is. That feeling of we're in this together. So when we make a joke, we're not doing it to put you down. We're doing it more to make you have more fun with it. Yeah,
I think laughing at it as well is like it's the medicine that we don't have anything, do we? How sad. I think laughing at it is like the most important thing. I think like when I play games with my friends, I'm like, just laugh away. Please just laugh away, because it makes me feel so much better. And then I can laugh at it and realize how funny it actually is, Well, in a weird way, I've noticed that when you give your friends at least permission to like have their fun, it in a weird way it makes you feel not alone. It's a really weird way of putting it, but it does make you feel not alone because of the fact that yes, your friends don't really know what you're going through, but they're there for you. And they're kind of getting involved with it, kind of like if I say something funny, they'll laugh at it, I'll laugh at it, and then we'll move on. Yeah, it does make it feel better. Yeah.
Well, and also I've noticed that through comedy, because I mean we've been. Thank you. But we've been doing we've been doing this this podcast now. This is the 26th episode, and so we've been doing it for a few months. But we did a comedy show since starting in 2018, which is how this whole thing started. And I noticed, I remember at one point I was working on a joke. Maybe I'll finish it at some point, but it was actually based on one of the audience members' reactions, and it was an audience member.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an audience member came to me at one point. And said, I'm not. He's like, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought that this whole time that I was going to a comedy show to just hear a bunch of people shout out swear words, and I thought it was just going to be all jokes. He basically thought it was going to be all Coprolalia jokes, the whole thing. But then he said that he walked away realizing that it's so much more, and and so he realized, like, through the comedy, how much more there is. And I've noticed that when my friends in the beginning were making jokes about my Tourette's, it was all about the squeak. It was all them just going up to me going, "Hey, Dan, ha, doing stuff like that." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you're making fun of the squeak." But now occasionally they move on to other tics and they talk about other things that I have. So like I'll get jokes about my hand shaking, or I'll get jokes about, like every once in a while I move my head to a side. So they'll joke about things like that. And I realize that they're actually in picking on me, they're learning more about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very weird statement to have just said, like, since I say it out loud, but it's like, it is true.
If you pick on me, you'll learn more. What?
Yeah, just pick on me a little bit more. Yeah, you just basically just study Tourette's for a little bit. What I want you to do is study the lore, as to say, and but it is fascinating how this stuff can really have an effect on people just by putting a smile on their face. And I think that's why I like to talk about what we talked about, to do as we're starting now, to do some rotations back to something we said earlier, talking about why podcasting and being open is so important. I think this is part of it, is that idea of what we were saying about, people just need to learn more about it so that they can be less closed-minded about it. And this is how they're going to learn about it. And I mean, like, if there was ever a message I would ever give to Hollywood, do something new. Just if you're going to talk about, I don't mind Hollywood talking about Tourette syndrome. I don't mind them having a character with Tourette syndrome. Just let's find something new about it to be, sharing with people. Yeah.
I'd like to see, like, I think you said it in another podcast episode, someone without coprolalia.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to,
because that's the thing that everyone focuses on.
Right. I was actually going to ask you, did you watch Motherless Brooklyn?
No.
Okay. So for me, it was about it was within the first 10 minutes, I was having a tic attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Of watching this movie. And it's just, because the thing that's amazing about it is it's not just that the character has Tourette's. It's not just that a guy is playing who doesn't have Tourette syndrome is playing a character with Tourette syndrome. He does stuff the way I do it. Like, he does stuff the way I've seen people with Tourette syndrome do it. And that's what that's the trigger for me.
Yeah. See, there is a film that I have watched. I don't know if you've heard of it, The Road Within.
The Road Within. I have not seen that one yet. It's
a very good one. The actor who plays a character called Vincent, and he's got Tourette's, and he's played by Robert Sheehan, and he doesn't have it, and he pulls it off absolutely fantastically. Like,
oh, wow.
I watched it and I was, oh my God, that's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly how it feels. It was so well done. And I watched the interviews with him and he absolutely smashed it. It was so good. Highly recommend it.
Oh, I'll definitely check it out. And to those of you listening in, if you check out our Facebook at facebook.com/myvoicesofTourettes, we'll put a link to that movie so you can all check it out. I was going to, but no, Charlotte says no. All right, don't go to our Facebook. It's a horrible place where people go to die. As we are getting close here with the podcast that you're thinking of doing, how exactly, what would you like to do with your podcast? What would you like to achieve? Because I understand you don't just have Tourette's. We mentioned that you do have OCD. You also have dyslexia. You mentioned to me. How would you like to go about doing a podcast?
I think I want it to be similar to how you're doing it, so funny and serious.
Right.
I just want to talk about the stuff I have and how it impacts things and how they work. I've got a few friends that have similar things as well, and I've got some friends that have things that I don't. So, like, one of my friends is epileptic, so I think it'd be really good to have them on and talk about that. I also want to completely different, but talk about films and TV shows. Okay. But also I think I can link them together, like how they've helped us get through things and inspirational characters and inspirational shows and things like that. And also just because I like film and TV. So
I mean, you can't go wrong. There's so much good stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, that was a hell of a statement. You can definitely go wrong. There are some bad as well.
Oh yeah.
And do you have a name in mind, or because I know your Instagram is that share space?
Yeah.
It is a good name.
Thank
I'm
you.
not trying to suggest anything, but it is a good name.
Huh. I'll note that down, but I haven't really had anything spring to mind particularly. My friend's been trying to help me think of something. I did at first think Ticks and Giggles, but my friend pointed out that I shouldn't use Ticks and Tourette's in the title and market it off that, because then I might end up being known for that, and I want to do other things as well. So I think I might try and steer away from that and have something else.
Yeah, it is a good comment. I think that's one of the reasons we get away with My Voices Have Tourette's is because it's not just voices. But I noticed at one point we did have a conversation among us because once we started, because the show started as just three of us. And, it was me and Elva who have Tourette Syndrome, and our friend Hannah who has schizophrenia. And once we started adding more people, we realized My Voices Have Tourette's kind of only talks about the three of us. But the beauty of it is that fact that because it's adding more than just one thing, it is in a sense including everyone, because it's kind of the purpose of it as opposed to just the name. But it is true if this show was literally called My Tourette's Has Tourette's, then people would expect that everything would be Tourette related.
Yeah. It's really hard thinking of a title as well. You could sit there for bloody days trying to think of a title and never get anywhere.
I do like Ticks and Giggles though. That is funny. I mean,
yeah, I do quite like that.
You can't go with TikTok.
No.
that wouldn't work. I've thought about I've been like thinking about like different names of things to go with. At one point I like Resting Twitch Face.
That's good. I've never heard that before. I like that.
That's a fun one. I've used that for bios before. I like that one. But definitely when you get it started, definitely let me know. I will promote it. We'll promote it on our social media as much as we possibly can.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, and there before we go, I do want to close this out because I want to close this before Elva gets back. That's kind of the big thing. No, I'm kidding. But I do want to say a big thank you for being a part of this, because one thing that like when you emailed us, I mean, Thodotler, one of the guys that's in the show with me normally is one of the co-hosts. Like the two of us were really excited to ask you to be a part of the show because we noticed that like us doing this has inspired people. And I really want to continue that, because the more people we get on the show, the more people that those people will get to inspire others the way that we've inspired people. And I think I really love the idea of you doing a podcast. I really hope the best for you with all of that. And
thank you.
If you ever want to have the squeakiest person on the planet in your podcast, I will definitely say yes.
I would love that. That would be fantastic.
But of course, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. And before we go, where can our listeners find out more information about you, so that when the podcast does come out, they know exactly where to go?
Well, that shared space, I mean, I haven't really been saying much on there. That is actually a vent account. So I just vent on there really and post about stuff that's bothering me or that's gone well. But I will probably promote it on there. Okay. Yeah.
But definitely, when you get it started, definitely let me know. I will promote it. We'll promote it on our social media. If you want to find out more information about us, you can find us at Facebook at My Voices Have Tourette's, Instagram at My Voices Have Tourette's.
Don't use Facebook. It's
We have a Twitter at MVHT Show. You can. If you want to support the podcast, check us out at paypal.me/MVHT Show. That's paypal.me/MVHT Show. You can also find me at Facebook at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dan Zarin Comedy. And you can find Elva Doug on Facebook at The Elva Doug. Because let's face it, she's the Elva Doug. So just search, it's Doug as in dog, DOGG, The Elva Dog. You got it. Other than that, this episode has been brought to you by Games the Studio, where we're reporting. Now we're a news report show. Next on the Tourette weather. Oh,
that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be amazing. We should definitely do that sometime. But Games the Studio, where we're recording the Secret Cellar Iceland's first and only comedy club, and Smaure's Volcano Sauce is the greatest hot sauces I've ever had in my life. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of the squeaky podcast places, feel free to like and subscribe or follow or whatever it is, and leave us a 5-star review if you loved it, 1-star review if you hated it. We don't mind. We want to learn and make this great. So either way, thank you so much for listening, and check out new episodes every Tuesday.
5 stars.
Not allowed to do 5 stars.
No, you're only allowed to do 5 stars.
Oh, you're only allowed to.
Like that.
All right, you heard this from Charlotte Curry. You are only allowed 5-star reviews. If you do a 1-star review, you will be banned.
I'm gonna come get you.
We're gonna come get you. We're gonna send out a Tourette squat team. It's gonna.
Oh, brutal.
You don't want the Tourette squad. They will tick you into oblivion. Anyway. But as I said, thank you so much, and check out new episodes every Tuesday.